Last year we had 4 interns on for summer. We actually ended up hiring one who's gone on really well, a project management assistant. One thing I did want to share that we do with our interns, which is quite fun, is we give them a questionnaire at the beginning of their internship and then we review it on their exit interview at the end. So we like to ask them questions like, what makes a good career? Because sometimes, have you asked yourself that question? What is a good career? We do put ourselves out for interns, but I sort of say your job is to be a fly on the wall and save us, our team, time doing various tasks so that time can keep given back in training. So if you're not giving us the time back, it's going to be very difficult for us then to spend time training with you. So internship, we actually probably talked about this last summer. Essentially, Reading University, which is our local university, have a program where we can take on interns. You get allocated funding for that, so they contribute to salaries. And essentially, we go through this raft of recruitment where we take interns on for summer. Last year, we had 4. We actually end up hiring one semi-part-time for the remainder of their last year, who's gone on really well as sort of a project management assistant. And we've got 3 more vacancies that they've approved for funding this year. So we're hiring through Reading University, and I've got about 60 CVs to go through to pre-qualify them for an initial telephone call. And then we also have had, just for a local connection, actually a local developer, one-man band developer, his son has joined us for internship as well in Central Suites. And it's just to sort of get you guys thinking out there. You might be in a small independent business or even a slightly bigger business, maybe like Aura, like 14, 15 people in the team, and be thinking, how can you bring in talent at the best level? And I do think that bringing in an internship while someone's going into their 3rd year of university, you can then take them on a day a week for their last year, and then also a permanent graduate role. And you do get good blood coming through, really, because they know who you are, they know how you operate, they're comfortable in what you're doing. You can keep them busy over that year period and then hopefully get a full-time hire out of them. One thing I did want to share that we do with our interns, which is quite fun, is we give them a questionnaire at the beginning of their internship and then we review it on their exit interview at the end. So we like to ask them questions like, what do you think you want to do after university? What are the 3 areas you'd like to learn more about? How could we set you best up going back to university? So that's typically if they've got theoretical experience and exposure in potentially like building surveying or quantity surveying, they want the actual practical exposure on site to see where those roles engage on site. We've asked them the questions like, what do you think about working for a small company and working for a large company? We ask, do you have any concerns? What's your thoughts on career and life in the world? Because we're problem solvers in our business, and I like it when, they potentially go, well, I'm not sure if I'd fit well in here for this reason. And then we can then give them the exposure that they could potentially have in that area. We ask what their 3 main strengths are. We ask what they would like to improve on. We ask if they're comfortable taking on responsibility. I feel like this is a really good one to test people and actually give them responsibility where they can. We ask them what makes a good career, because sometimes, have you asked yourself that question? What is a good career? What is a career that you feel that you're accomplished? Early days, it's normally package and money and security and financial security. And then it might move into job satisfaction and growth and learning and being part of something. And then what does success look like? And then this is my favorite one, is what do you think our company do? So they can then look at what they've said at the beginning and see that the adverse, because obviously once they've been in the business for 3 months, they're really going to know what the business does. So yeah, I thought I'd share that.
Sorry to interrupt. If you are tuning into this, love the idea of investing in or developing property, you have at least £50,000 cash, but don't have the time to deploy it, then why not consider investing in one of our XP projects? We're always raising more investment for our property pipeline, so head over to our website and register your interest to work with us now. Back to the video.
I just had one thing to say about the internship, because there's probably a lot of people thinking, oh, cheap labor, let's go and bolster the team and go and grab a few people and see where we get to. I think ultimately there's loads of benefits having interns involved, but the drawbacks are that they need management. If you haven't got the time yourself, then you are going to have somebody that is capable of making sure they're busy, giving them a list of things to do, keeping on top of them, and also being there for when they have questions, because there will be some. Don't just think that you can hire an intern, get some cheap labor in for a few months, they'll just be self-sufficient and not bother you, because they will need your support, they will need your help. So just be aware and prepared for that. There's loads of pros, but those are some of the cons. So
I actually try and set out the stall with interns in their induction. I say, look, we're a small company. It's very difficult for us to give resource. We're not a massive company where we could come in on, for example, the Hill Group. They have their own intern academy where people just go on this jolly, it's like a 3-month school trip where they learn loads about development. There's someone allocated to it and they get fed and all of that sort of stuff. Obviously, we do put ourselves out for our interns, but I sort of say your job is to be a fly on the wall and save us, our team, time doing various tasks so that time can keep given back in training. So if you're not giving us the time back, it's going to be very difficult for us then to spend time training with. Always make that clear. And then from that set, they're always trying to help and do things. What can I help with? What can I do? You know, even the intern in the car said yesterday, he said, if you're out and about tomorrow and you need me to do anything, let me know. And it's that attitude, give and take. And that's how interns should work.
If you got value from this video, make sure you click the subscribe button down below and ring the notification bell, because we release one video at least every week. So be the first to get notified. See you on the next one.